All the people in this world, we start in the same way. From the caveman to the person with the most advanced knowledge. None of us choose when or where to be born. The vast majority of people live their lives in their own world, almost without realizing what is happening in other parts of the world. Where some stop dreaming very early. And life goes on without us noticing. But some in this life have been able to dream, to make their dreams come true, to reach their goals, to really live. The thing is, how did they do it? What is behind to fulfill, to make our dreams come true? The next 20 minutes are an experiment, and for this to work for you, you must pay attention. The greatest fear of the human being is the fear of the unknown, the future, the anguish of feeling powerless in the face of life's adversities, the feeling of losing anything, life, health, safety, a couple, the feeling of not being, not reaching. More than 3 million people each month look to know their future. Only on Facebook, there are pages with millions of followers, people anxious to know what is waiting for them that day, that week, that month, through the horoscope every day. Millions of others are looking for ways to restore or maintain their love relationships. That's the fear of not being accepted. There are hundreds of thousands of pages and videos on YouTube that deal with this topic. More than 3 million people seek what it is, or how to have luck in life. How to make your dreams reality. Increasingly famous and millionaires have been showing their taste for certain types of practices of many occult, which, according to them, helps them in their success in life. Society, slave to herself and others, has no idea of the power of these exercises. Also, for anyone, it has been profitable to tell us how they did it. This part of successful people, practitioners of some kind of occultism, are those who use some psychic knowledge and techniques to manipulate results, or any fact, such as a person, a football match, a lottery, a sexual relationship, a destination, to make money, lots of money, in every way possible. Very few people say it openly, supposedly because its economic benefit lies in the fact that the other great majority of other people do not know this set of practices and knowledge. As you'll discover, for many rich and famous people, the thing is not just the fact of having talent. We were born in a very complicated world. But I want my future generations to have a better life, without fear, without anguish of the future. A world where many people learn a series of knowledge and techniques so that they can move everything that's necessary to make their dreams come true. Discovering the magic of the symbols. Since ancient times, people try to solve their problems resorting to magic, mortar, to some magical poison that can help them. millions of people turn to witchcraft to solve their problems. Thousands more practice some kind of ritual, either to obtain peace or some kind of benefit. Others practice some religion, have some kind of belief in their lives to try to achieve something. All these practices and beliefs represent very valuable things for each person. Other people read about other successful people and try to follow in their footsteps, trying to reproduce the success of those people in their lives. All these things open the doors to the scientific discovery of all quantum sciences. Like psychology and psychiatry, with the contributions of Carl Jung, together with the contributions of the quantum physicist Pauli. The quantum physicist Pauli, intrigued why some machines worked badly in the presence of some people, and the psychiatrist Carl Jung with his studies on the unconscious, the archetypes and symbols in dreams, but especially synchronicity. All the contributions of other physicists, such as David Bohm, Albert Einstein, and David Peat, among many more. The most important contributions of the Qi Kong, of the Oriental Chinese medicine, that from the antiquity have known the energy of the body and the influence of the magnetic fields of the earth. In addition, from the theory of temporary openings by Lucille and Jean-Pierre Gardner, these and many more contributions of all the sciences helped to remove certain myths, although recognizing that behind the myths there is a reality. The magic of these symbols is based on the contributions of all of these prodigious minds, to say that we live in two worlds at the same time. The world of particles, where it is postulated that a particle exists in two places at the same time, and that one affects the other, producing changes. This, together with the theory of the synergy of Jacobo Grimberg, we can get to say that there exists, beyond the photons and the quantum, waves of power that move and sometimes form what science calls strings or lattice, a mesh species. This means that we are connected to everything, that we do not exist apart from the universe, as if the universe were a different thing that exists outside of us. On the contrary, we exist in the universe, and we are participants in the universe. But we have separated ourselves. We have separated ourselves from our unconscious, what the Naskapi Indians called Mistapo, or the Great Friend. We have cut conscious communication with this great friend for hundreds of thousands of years. As the psychiatrist Carl Jung said, we will find our human fullness in making the unconscious conscious. It is the unconscious, or spirit, or our essence, or double quantum, to which a personality is attributed, who is connected in a conscious way, so to speak, with all that invisible universe so far for our consciousness. The magic of the symbols uses symbols, trying to deceive the censor that is in our mind, to carry a direct message and as clear as possible to our interior magician, who is able to move particles in the universe to update our present. That is, take existing resources such as health, wealth, peace, love, etc., and materialize them in this denser dimension of which we have awareness. The man who manages to reduce that space between himself and his self is capable of producing miracles. But how can we get connected? How to achieve changes in our lives? How to really change our luck? How to get rid of fears and traumas in a matter of days and perhaps hours? It is so far through the language of symbols. A symbol is something that profoundly represents the total idea that is transmitted. For example, the word mom represents more than what the word says. It represents protection, affection, authority, support, company, etc., etc. That's why mom becomes a symbol that represents very deep ideas and feelings, which are related to many other ideas and concepts within us. A flag represents, for example, our land, our identity. A gesture is a symbol that represents many other things according to the movement it is made. This is the true language. It is the language of the symbols. It is the language of the unconscious. And when the message arrives correctly and effectively, an insight is produced. That is, a revelation, an impact that manages to change us by seconds. This produces a burst of energy, which makes synchronization possible, through the deployment quantum of our unconsciousness, producing what we might call magic or miracle. In other words, with the use of a symbol, we can be in the same frequency of that source or mesh or strings in which we are embedded, even for 1,000th of a second, like lightning of light, so that the change we seek may occur. Witchcraft, rituals, all they do is make sense of what we are looking for is not that witchcraft or ritual or thought have any kind of magical power. They are all a symbol that represents something deeply rooted, as it can be some faith or any amulet or any creed to which we belong. Therefore, the magic of the symbols tries to use the symbols to carry the message to the universe through the unconscious, who is 95% of what we are in our mind. The great friend of the Naskapi, The Self by Carl Jung, The Unconscious Deployment of David Bohm. A moment is enough. 1,000th of a second is enough, so that in any place, at any time, in any creed, we can unite ourselves in the whole to receive the miracle, the desire of our heart. Very few of the people who have achieved any success in their lives, famous people, and any others with a lot of power in this world, do not say it openly, because it is not good to walk saying that magic is your favorite pastime, that any list of academic degrees will not look good, nor in the personal topic in the meetings of friends or family. Magic is a delicate power, and it is, in silence, in which it acquires that value that makes it different from any other practice of knowledge and techniques. Despite this, the great mass of people do not believe that it is possible that magic can be something real and without a doubt. The vast majority do not believe, nor understand, for example, how a person in silence, completely alone in a room, can influence anything that happens outside that room in which he is, by using a correct symbol to influence what he has proposed. It is logical that this is like this, until they learn about the theoretical origins and the experiences that show why this influence has happened in anything that this person has proposed from that lonely and empty room where he was. The magic of the symbols does not have a set of obligatory beliefs, nor indisputable, nor the need to use mysterious ceremonies to be carried out. It does not matter if you are in a church praying to your God, or you are in a mosque, or kneeling before the Eternal, or sitting in a chair looking far away, or before some image that you think is sacred. The important thing is that, for a moment, the impact reaches you and the miracle occurs, the magic you need. The magic of the symbols is more a process of psychological contents to obtain something in particular, that some recipe or some ritual established by some particular belief, or by some organized cult. For a magician of symbols, beliefs are tools, symbols to achieve an objective. They are not its causes. The magician of symbols believes in the internal movement of the ego and that of the personality. They do not think it necessary or healthy to be a long time being the same person, believing in the same things, while living in a total changing, unpredictable, chaotic reality whose order we cannot get to know. The magic symbols has its foundation in the theories of the synchronicity of Carl Gustav Jung and in the quantum physics postulated by David Bohm, and contributions from F. David Pete, among many others, which would be very long to mention. According to the magic of symbols, a man in silence, in a room, preferably dark, can manipulate any event outside of it by the existence according to Jung and so many others, of a collective unconscious, a place not yet physically determined by the science, but yes, by the mystics, in which they affirm we are all united in some way. Deducting that there are structural links between a Moscow baker and a peasant in Argentina, with the magician man in the dark room, the magic of symbols reveals that there is a quantum bridge that allows information to be sent from one point to another, that is, a bridge between mind and matter, which is synchronicity. The popular string theory, lattice synergistic theory, that has so excited the scientific world also reveals the existence of said bridge or structural link, since it also states that we are all united by tiny and unprovable strings. In this course, we will explain how to send information through these ropes or structural links. We can convince people of what we want. We can schedule future events. We can get almost anything we want. At the moment, there is nothing more tangible that can sustain this idea, except, logically, the good experimental results that we can obtain. Circumstances more than enough for the magicians of the symbols. If you really want to enjoy real magic, to be able to achieve what many others have and are achieving today, join this quick course of the magic of symbols. Discover all this powerful secret of the magic of the symbols